I kind of just made the decision that it was time to either level up and become a therapist and just commit to it, or move on into a different industry. I had this feeling within myself for a long time, like I could die tomorrow and be so happy because I've lived such a great life. And then for the first time ever, I kind of took that back because I realized I'd never really challenged myself to see how much I could push myself in something, like how far could I actually grow.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Behind the Knock podcast. I'm here with Jesse Weaver.
Hello.
Hi. So Jesse and I actually don't know each other very well.
Nope.
Yeah, we just met a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So Jesse, tell me a little bit about how it all began. Where did you grow up?
Where I grew up?
Yeah.
Early years, Vegas, actually.
Okay.
I was born on the East Coast. That's where my family's from. But fun fact, yeah. But then I grew up in Vegas, and then like pre-adolescence, adolescence, early college was all St. George.
Okay. Okay.
And
So what part of the East Coast?
so I was born in Virginia, in Fairfax. And my family's all over the, like DC, Maryland area, Virginia area. On my dad's side, yeah.
Interesting.
hmm
Do you go back over there ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure do. I haven't been over in a couple of years, honestly. So I've been needing to go out there. But yeah, we moved to Vegas when I was like 1. And then,
Oh, okay.
so super young, yeah. So I just know West Coast primarily, and then just out there to visit and stuff. And yeah, I moved up to St. George, school, college a little bit, and then graduated. I moved up to Salt Lake for college at the
Okay.
hmm
So what'd you go to college for?
So I majored in political science.
No kidding.
Yeah, I had every intention of being a lawyer or a judge. Yeah, oh
Really?
yeah, I was on that path heavily.
Wow.
hmm
So what led you away from that?
There were a few things. I worked a couple jobs always while I was in school, and one of those was I worked in like a therapeutic setting for a long time with adolescents primarily, but also with adults, just addiction, right?
Hmm.
And then my last semester in college, I actually did an internship in Washington D.C., where with the National District Attorneys Association.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I was just like out there, and they're all prosecutors. So my job as an intern was really to just go to meetings on the Hill with like senators and stuff, and like watch what the other side, the defense, and what they were talking about and I would just go there, listen to them, and that was like where my like heart lied, was like I wanted to get into helping represent women and youth who aren't represented, as well as like just minorities. And there was a few things that I was really, really passionate about. Still am. I just took a different route.
Sure.
But one thing that came up a lot out there was addiction, was prisons and reform, and how like just the whole system worked. And the more I learned about it, the more passionate I got, not only about defense, like a defense attorney as opposed to a prosecutor, right?
Mhm.
I think I got really ready to just work in a therapeutic environment again, which is what I had a little bit of experience with while in school. So I came back after I graduated, worked again at an addiction center, and I did that. I've done that. I've worked at like 4 different centers, both at like 4 or 5 for adults and adolescents, all primarily for addiction, but also behavioral issues, all sorts of stuff, for about 8 years. And I had every intention for a while of becoming a therapist, but then I got to work so closely with the therapists and with the kids that after doing that for so long, I really, really understood what it would be like what that would be if I went back to school to do that. And I think 8 years was enough for me to,
Sure.
I put my time in, and I was,
Yeah.
I was like, let's see if we can pivot somewhere else, which is what I did.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
So
crazy.
so moving on from that, what did you land in first, like straight out of college?
Straight out of college was just serving, because I was soft science, right, degree.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If I'm going to have, poli-sci, loved it. No regrets, but that will not get you paid. That will
Right.
not get you paid. Great trajectory towards, law or something else, but definitely not like, no, it was not the one. So I mostly did a lot of serving jobs, and then working in those treatment centers and things like that, both here in St. George and up in Salt Lake, and on the East Coast, actually. I spent a summer on the Outer Banks working at a some bougie center,
No
basically. It was
kidding.
crazy.
For
Yeah.
like rich people.
For rich people
No
it was like on
kidding.
the beach. So like I would be paid to like take these clients out to fitness centers, and then we'd go walk on the beach, we'd go swimming, and then we'd go to like an A meeting or an NA meeting or whatever, you know. It was, and that, yeah, it was great.
Was that your favorite one?
I have a soft spot for, I always liked working with the adolescents, with the girls especially.
I got
I
you.
love those kids, you
Yeah.
know. But that was definitely the easiest I've ever had it, for sure.
Yeah.
I just on the
Right
beach
on the
with these
beach.
guys, yeah, getting paid to just
Yeah.
take them around and be a part of their story, and yeah, some of them like still reach out to me. So
No
it's
kidding. Holy cow.
yeah. Once the kids turn 18 too, like they'll reach out and be like, wow, da, da.
Thanks for helping me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah, yeah. I have
That's
a bunch of letters,
crazy.
but yeah. So
That's got to feel good.
yeah, I mean, it kept me in the industry for so long, because you do see the changes, you know, what for adults and adolescents, you know, you see these guys just change. I had one guy who was like super quiet, didn't like, he was probably 26, something like that. And he, super quiet guy, very introverted. And I never expected to hear from him after. And all he said was, "Thanks for your help. 2 years sober, never again."
No way.
And I was like, okay, let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's cool to be a part of. I love getting to see where people are a few years later, you know,
Yeah.
when the story is good.
Of course.
You know, so.
Well, I think that's the best part of watching those shows too, is like where they end up.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's heartwarming.
And yeah, and now that there's like so much social media, it's really, they'll like add you on Facebook or
That's
Instagram or something years
crazy.
later, or yeah. So that's always been, it's been cool. But I did transition out of that. I kind of just made the decision that it was time to either level up and become a therapist and just commit to it, or move on into a different industry, just because I wanted to push myself, and it, you know, I can't do the same thing forever, as rewarding as it was working so closely with those kids, you know, or adults. Yeah. So I moved away just because, I felt like I'd almost been in that position for so long. Like I wanted to try something else and challenge myself in different ways. And also, there's more money and other things, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I put my time in, it's time to move on. And,
That's right.
I actually had a friend afterwards who, recruited me to do a seasonal sales job for Christmas lighting, and leased lights for like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. And the sales were super easy. Just come in and design what they need. And we were catering basically to the 1%, which was great. So my sister and I did it together. She did it the first year, and she was the top rep in the nation.
Dang.
So yeah, so the next year she recruited me. She and I were both in SoCal together, mostly just in LA. And then we were the top 2 reps in the nation, which was nice.
The dream team.
The dream team, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and the area helped. You know, there's a lot of money out there, so I can't take all the credit there, but yeah, we loved it. You know, so did that, and then the company itself goes really hard. They're primarily Christmas, right? But they also did landscape lighting and permanent lighting, kind of like that jellyfish stuff that you'll see on the So, which is kind of what they're starting to focus on more now, in tandem with the Christmas lighting. I worked there for 3 years after this, right? So,
holy cow!
So I did a couple of years of sales with them, and then I would just literally travel. Like I would work 2 months, and then I would be traveling internationally the rest of the time.
It's a sweet gig.
It was great.
Yeah.
You know, just I'd save my money, and you know, your dollar goes so much further when you're in South America, when you're in India, when you're you know somewhere else. So I would work really hard, and I did that too back even before working at the Christmas lighting job. Like I was back when I was working with the kids, or you know, I would work a ton, and then travel internationally for months, come back, do the same thing, repeat, and yeah. And so doing that summer sale or winter sales, was really was great, because I'd make way more money. And it was seasonal, so that was really what they only wanted from me. It wasn't like, I gotta go, I'm gonna quit now. It was like, you're done. The season's over.
Come back next year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the company is actually really small in terms of like their office. I mean, they're big now, but they I guess the core is really small. Like
Mhm.
I know all those guys, and I got brought into the team to be like one of the core people. After a year and a half, I started helping with recruiting. I speak Spanish, and so I started helping with their ops. I actually moved my second season in sales. I was pulled off the sales team. I was selling in Miami,
Mhm.
and then I moved over back to LA. And I was staying in an Airbnb with the ops team, which a lot of them were just Spanish speakers, and I learned so much about the product and so much about the way that they were installing in a way that I hadn't seen from the sales side. Um, that I started to I started talking to one of the CEOs who was just a good friend of mine, and she and I just would go back and forth on ideas or thoughts or cost. I just got really passionate about it, and the ops was struggling a little bit, and so she literally took me out of sales, pulled me into ops, and I just did operations the rest of that season with one other guy. And it's a nationwide company, so we're deploying people across the nation. We're doing Airbnbs, we're scheduling jobs, and we're making sure that we're talking to the clients and making, it was a whole thing. I fell in love with that. I was obsessed with that. So I actually moved out of sales into ops full time. I was onboarded like year round. I built out a whole training for the operations team, and helped with recruiting. I was kind of like, for 3 months of the year, I'd be recruiting, and then I'd be doing training for a couple months and onboarding, things like that. And then the rest of the time, it was like 70 hours a week, uh, 70, 80 hours a week just during the on season, because these guys are working all day. They're in the office 7 a.m. or at the warehouse picking up their stuff,
Mhm.
off to their jobs, and they're not back until 9 or 10 or whatever. And a lot of them have to drive a ways, so they're not even home until 11, and they do it all over again. So as you're managing them, you've got to make sure that what jobs did they finish? What materials do they have? Are these clients happy? Like, what do we need to communicate to them that we'll be back tomorrow morning? Whatever. And so we were working like 70, 80 hours a week, with the installers, basically, just to make sure that everything was flowing smoothly, which I was obsessed with. Also, I love logistics. I love operations. And so,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I, yeah, I did that for a while, and then I became like the logistics and operations manager for a while. Yeah. And it was like what I thought I wanted, right? I was like, this is where I want to be. I love my team. I love the people I work with. Um, I'm really passionate about my job. I got my own little office. Great. And then
Sweet.
and after, in January, after our season ended, I took a huge step back just mentally, as I realized I just worked 78 hours a week. How much am I making? What's going on? Like, what am I doing? Where am I moving forward? Where's the growth in this company for me? And I quit to knock doors.
Dang.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. No one expected that transition, I don't think, from me. Because from the outside looking in, and as well, like, I looked pretty comfy,
Yeah.
and I was super happy and passionate with what I was doing. And I still talk, like, messaged my boss, I think this morning or yesterday, my old boss.
Mhm.
She's still a friend. We're going to get lunch like next week.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, love her. And yeah, and a bunch of my other coworkers, ex-coworkers, they're all great. Love that team. But I think I just realized, like, at some point in time that I needed to, if I really wanted to get serious about money, I was passionate about it and I was having fun and I was traveling. It worked for the lifestyle that I was looking for at that time. I wanted to work really hard seasonally and then travel, and like in 2021 or two, I was gone for 9 months of the year.
Dang.
2024, I was gone for like 6, you know, um, and then every other couple of years, I was gone at least 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Uh, yeah, I had a great 20s.
That's kush, yeah.
But then I think when I turned 30 or 31 or whatever, something clicks. I realized it was just, I think I just decided I wanted to see what else I could do.
Mhm.
I had this feeling within myself for a long time, like I could die tomorrow and be so happy because I've lived such a great life. You know, I've seen so much, I've done so much, I've just been, I've great connections. It's been great. Um, and then for the first time ever, I kind of took that back because I realized I'd never really challenged myself to see how much I could push myself in something. Like, how far could I actually grow? In if I, how much could I make? How far could I grow? Can I build a team in a way that makes sense to me? Um, that the Yeah, with the lifestyle that I'm trying to live. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So once that shift happened, I I knew I had to get back into sales. Sales is always where it's at. I realized that even I was, as an ops person, the logistics and ops, way more responsibility, way more hours, and I was making less than I was the year prior in sales.
Yep.
And that crushed me a little bit. I was like, wow, like I feel so important and responsible for so many things, and I'm making less money.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's just the nature of the job. But that's not where I wanted to be. So I dedicated myself to where I thought there was, the most opportunity, the most room for growth, and something that I wasn't looking for, something that was the most challenging, but I think door knocking can be quite the challenge.
You found it. Yeah.
I found it.
You found it for sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of, that's how I ended up here. Like,
It's awesome.
I went straight out, like right as soon as my season ended, I gave Windows a try, like did a week, and then came back, told my boss, and they were like, what the heck? They're all good things. Like, I hope you make money, and I hope they're great people. So yeah. But yeah, I was like, see you later. I got to go do this other thing. And that's how I found myself in Windows.
It's crazy.
Isn't that yeah. Transition.
What a story. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So was it worth it? Do you regret it?
Nothing but regret. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's been great. It's been the challenge that I was looking for, and the reward I've been looking for, and I also didn't think I'd be so passionate about Windows, but then again, who knew I'd be so passionate about Christmas lights or lighting in general? I think I just get really excited about what I'm working on. And once you start to really dissect people's needs and like the desires that they have, and like, or how you're working with people, or like the more that you learn about the products that you're working with, it can become a lot more, I don't know, exciting almost, or just, or maybe just passionate. I guess I really find enjoyment in solving problems and moving, figuring things out, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Do you ever wonder if that's why you're so good at sales? Is because you become so passionate about the thing?
Probably. I mean, yeah, I actually, yeah, because my first couple of weeks, I had a lot of questions. A big part of leadership's job is to create buy-in within the door knocker.
Yeah.
And I knew that. So I was like, is it really? Are we really helping people? I had these doubts because I was told these things, and I was like, but do I believe them? And so I didn't have a conviction at first. I was like, are we actually helping people? Why does this price justify like the product that we're doing? Like, does this make sense? And I had a lot of questions that I felt at the time I couldn't necessarily go to leadership to ask that, because they're going to be like, yes, yes, go tell them that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. So, I talked to this one lady, super nice, small town Utah spot, and she had already replaced her windows like 3 years prior with Home Depot windows, and I was ready to let her convince me why her windows are good and ours suck. I was like, so how do you like I literally was like, so how do you like your windows? Are they working for you? Are they cutting down your energy bill? Like, what's going on? And after that conversation, she did like them, but after that conversation with her, my conviction was completely sold, because she's awesome. Like, yes, I like my Home Depot windows. She was paying like some crazy amount. It was like $250 a month, $300 for energy bill. She's like, yeah, that's been cut down dramatically. It's been great, except for our contractor was a friend, and he screwed up our walls, and he's not coming back to fix it. So now there's a giant hole. My husband's pulling all this stuff out. We got damaged. And I'm like, geez. Yeah. He's like, also, we are going to have to replace these windows in about 3 or 4 years. I love them now, but they're already starting to fall apart. And I was like, oh, what?
Yep.
So yeah, when I started to look at the numbers and the math of it all, I was like, wow, we are providing, it just made sense. And then all of a sudden I was like, no, you do need us.
Yeah.
And I started getting set after set because my conviction was completely there, so that, yeah. But then I got the passion, and the conviction went up, and the sales came after that for sure.
You got the itch?
So, yeah, it was great. Like, yeah. I realized I was actually helping people solve a problem that was there. They just didn't know if they needed to, they didn't believe it necessarily, and I didn't believe it at the time. Yeah. So once I had that conviction, everything changed for me. Danny was the one who really, that Home Depot lady, and then Danny really, really solidified that for me. So
Danny's great at that.
Danny's the man. Yeah. Danny's,
for sure. We're happy to have him. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Danny's, yeah.
So as far as like belief and conviction, you'd say that that's a pretty important part of it.
Definitely. I personally can't sell anything that I don't believe in, I just will fall apart because it feels insincere.
Yep.
And then it feels like I am just trying to make money at the expense of other people. And I don't like that. So,
Yep.
it's pretty obvious when I can run a script, but, it's pretty obvious when my conviction is just not there,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So yeah, it definitely matters. If your heart's in the right place and, yeah, you'll do well.
Yeah.
For sure.
When I could tell that about you, you know, we've only been working together for a couple of days, but
Right.
you're in director training and we were going through that slideshow and it was like, well, what about this? Well, what about
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Can you help me understand this? You can tell that you're very information and understanding driven. And I'm the same way. If I don't understand it, how am I supposed to help somebody else understand that
That's right.
too?
Yeah.
So, dude, I think you're going to crush it as a director.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
see. I mean, I think so. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
You will. I mean, you've definitely got the belief, you've got the conviction, and not only that, but like you genuinely want to help people, and people can read right past that. Like if you're just trying to get the sale, it's going to be so apparent. It's going to be so blatantly obvious. So I think that's all it takes. Just having belief, having conviction, knowing that you're helping people and genuinely trying to help people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was what made the change for me. I literally could not do it. And I thought, I need more information or I need to quit or what's going to happen here. And so, yeah, when I really figured it all out, made it so easy. Yeah. So yeah, conviction is everything for me. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's enough room in the industry for you to grow and actually have a future here?
Definitely. I mean, yes. When I look at the industry, I feel like I'm honestly super excited to kind of develop outward and try new things and see what's going on. And it seems like there's a lot of untapped potential. I'm not risk averse at all. So I'm like, yeah, let's go out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't make any money, but we'll like figure it out, you know, and at least we'll probably help some people figure it out, you know? So it's crazy to think that it would be crazy to think that the industry is full or too saturated. Maybe if we're going to go to like Kanab, Utah, yes, I would be like, no.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there's so many places that we have never touched. You know, there are some areas that I knocked a couple months ago that had never heard the script once in their lives. And they're so nice and they're so friendly and they're so receptive because this is new information to them, and we're getting in front of them for something that they need, that they've never had someone like try to solve that problem for them at their door. And so, yeah, they're going to be of course, there's tons of potential. We just need to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The underserved communities are where I like to go. Little small towns where they have one other window company that's charging 4 times as much as they should for like a very basic product that's going to fall apart in 2 years, no type of warranty. And then we go out there and we're like, hey, we'll do it for half as much with a lifetime warranty and we're going to install it the right way.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
And it's not just easy, but dang, it feels good to help people that need the help.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I like changing like when I'm introducing myself out there to smaller town Utah or smaller town places in general, it's always nice to be like, hey, we want to be your local option because the option that you have limited options and they're all expensive or worse than us. Like we've got everything for you here. You know, if you want, give us a chance and we will show you.
Yeah.
And so it's great.
Yeah. It's we're disrupting the monopolies inside of these little small towns where people need the help.
Yeah. There are some towns that every place is different. Every town is different. And it's so interesting seeing, like we had we came in to an appointment and we dropped the price and they said, why is it so cheap? It was what they said.
It's crazy.
Why is it so cheap? And it was like, yeah, because all of their contractors were being taken up. Yeah, it was out in Montana actually. And,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so yeah, all the contractors did work out in Big Sky because there's just a lot of money out there. So it's not going to be worth their time to come down and help the average person when they can make so much money on these bigger contracts. So they're like, all right, I guess I'll come out and give you a bid, but they're going to charge an arm and a leg to make it worth their time because they're making so much money somewhere else. So we come in as a family friendly option. It's like, hey, we're the neighborhood, help. Basically, we're coming. So we came in so much more affordable, even on everything. It was great. Like we did siding. We're coming in. They're shocked. Why is it so cheap? It's like, wow. Like they side. Obviously, they bought windows.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we're solving a problem and we're breaking up the monopoly, like you said, where people are actually able to afford something. Where their local contractors are screwing them over, honestly.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity in a lot of places.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that can't be the only place that's happening.
No,
either.
definitely not. Yeah.
We've seen it in small town Utah. If it's happening up there too, it's happening in other places.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, listen, I don't want to keep you too much longer, right? I know that you've got a lot of goals in this. Where do you kind of see yourself a year from now?
Well, I'm really excited to grow my team. I have a few recruits that are just getting started, like this week, and three of them, and none of them have seen a sale. So I'm like really, really focused on building out a team that will last. So in a year from now, I want to be like, yeah, that's my A team right there. Yeah. So I want to do it right. So I want to make sure they're set up, they're knowledgeable, and they don't experience burnout. And that they, most importantly, have a really, really solid culture where we're all relying on each other, and they have the help that they need and the support that they need. So, I think if we can start from a team-oriented place, everything will fall into place.
Absolutely.
Go out and crush.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I really want to change their lives and obviously my own. So, and then wherever we travel to, people are obviously interested, and so we solve their problems. It's great. We can help internally, externally. That's what I'm really excited to do is to see my team grow and myself grow. Obviously, I am looking forward to potential leadership opportunities as things open up and as this company continues to grow and as I continue to grow myself in this position and with this company. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what Proficient has for me in the future. And yeah, we'll see.
Well, we got you covered.
I'm excited.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. All right. Well, this was our episode with Jesse. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and follow.